Good morning, family. I hope everybody is doing good. I woke up just cheerful. As you can tell, I'm still in bed. Yeah. I've been up since 5, but yeah, I only got up to get some tea, and I got back in bed because my Bible was calling me, and I didn't even wait to figure out what I needed to do. It was more so a flip to find. As soon as I opened the book, it dropped right on Luke 20, and I was like, okay, so I guess it's Luke 20 today. Reading Luke 20 has been life water. So today, we're going to talk about authority given to those who earn it, right? In Luke 20, this is a good one. So I hope you're ready. I hope you got your coffee, your tea. I hope you're sipping and you're ready. We're going to get into this Bible study real quick. I'm going to try to make this video not too long, but no promises. The message got to get out, so however long it's going to be, we're going to do it together. Cheers. All right. So in Luke 20, pretty much the preachers, the chiefs, the teachers, they all were coming to Jesus because he was preaching the gospel. So they were coming to confront Jesus, right? They wanted to ask him, what is he doing? They said, tell us by whose authority you're doing these things and who gave you this authority. Jesus was like, well, let me ask you a question. John's baptism. Who baptized John? Was he baptized of heaven or of man? They discussed it amongst each other, and they knew we can't say he was baptized, of heaven, because then he's just going to say that he got his authority from heaven. And we can't say he was baptized by man because everybody they going to stone us. Like, we can't say that. They're going to lose it. I got the idea. Turn around and tell him, we don't know where his authority came from. And Jesus was like, okay. Then I don't know where my authority came from either. Which I thought was hilarious, because in 2024, that is exactly how it would have been put. Because I would have said this thing, me neither. Right? That right there tells you how when people don't understand where your information comes from or where the strength of your backing in the areas of which you know what you know, how they'll easily try to poke holes in it. If it does not fit the comfort of what they know, it no longer needs to be something that's a fact. It's harder to believe for someone who is comfortable than it is for someone who knows that change needs to happen. So in the upcoming months, weeks, even years, this is going to be a thing where chosen ones and people who are spiritual leaders are going to be tested when it comes to where your authority came from, that you think you can speak on matters of religion and spirituality as if they are fact and as if they are relevant and as if they can be revamped, because they're not changed. The word of the Lord does not change. What he has written has been written. It's going to be. But the understanding of it, that's different, because a lot of what is in the text is not understood by the people. They are spoon-fed the ideas that are in here, and they go along with them. This is why testing the spirit is a real thing. Just because you receive information does not mean that information is viable. You must always seek that information for yourself. Even with me and the messages that I give out, I encourage everyone to meditate, to sit in stillness, to connect to source on your own. Because where I can show you how to walk to source, walking with source is your path, and it has to be chosen by you. So when it really comes down to it, we only can get closer to God and understand the text and understand how to live life in a way that is fruitful by connecting ourselves to God. Now, like I just mentioned, there are going to be a lot of people who are going to attempt to test the spiritual leaders who are up and coming, the ones who are pushing spirituality as a lifestyle and trying to get the world to veer away from identifying their life as a religious source. The Lord didn't have a religion because religion divides. If you notice, every religion teaches that you need to be in their religion in order for you to really seek salvation. And the truth of the matter is there is no right way. Who said God does not answer to Allah? Who says God does not answer to source, divine? No one ever said that. And I mean, I honestly would be honest, like, if you ask him, I don't think God's going to say, nah, that's not my nickname. My name is Janique, but I answer to Jen. We all have identities, and it is separate, and it is individualized depending on who you're speaking to. So acceptance of all is the most important factor, and spirituality does that. It allows you to accept another's difference and even identify with it. Some of my spiritual practices are of Hindu background. Some of my spiritual practices come from, Muslim ideologies. I have so many that I love and that I appreciate because they bring me joy, and that's the point. They bring me joy, and they give back my love to God and shows him how I choose to walk in divinity at all times. And that's what we all are supposed to be doing. Choosing to live a lifestyle that gives back to the Lord for all that he does for you, but also promotes your soul's growth. I don't care about what's here on this planet, the 3D planet. It matters not to me. It matters not to me what car I can drive. It does not matter if I have a 7-family home, a $1 million bank account. None of that matters to me. What matters to me is freedom and the state of my soul when I leave this planet. That is all that matters to me. Because when I leave this planet, my soul is going to be intact. I'm not going to have any questions. I could go today and I'll be fine. And it's because I've gotten myself right with my source. Now, I'm going to get into a part that gets a little deeper. And now this is the one that got me, because this is when I started getting my downloads. And I was like, oh, obviously I need to turn on the camera and just record it, right? Okay, so I want to get into this part of Luke 20. So this is from verse 9 all the way to 17. All right? This is where things get really interesting. Jesus went on to tell them a parable. A man planted a vineyard, rented it to some farmers, and went away for a long time. At harvest time, he sent a servant to the tenants so that they would give him some fruit of the vineyard. Excuse me, my alarm's going off. So that they would give him some fruit of the vineyard. But the tenants beat him, sent him away empty-handed. He sent another servant, but that one they also beat, treated shamefully, and sent him away empty-handed. He sent a third. They wounded him and threw him out. Then the owner of the vineyard said, "What shall I do? I will send my son, whom I love. Perhaps they will respect him." But when the tenants saw him, they talked the matter over. "This is the heir," they said. "Let's kill him, and the inheritance will be ours." So they threw him out of the vineyard and killed him. What then will the owner of the vineyard do to them? He will come, kill those tenants, and give the vineyard to others. When the people heard this, they said, "May this never be." Jesus looked directly at them and asked, "Then what is the meaning of which is written?" Ooh-wee. All right, so I love that I got to read that this morning, because it is a direct depiction of how, one, Jesus predicted his persecution. He predicted it. He knew it was going to happen. He knew the whole time that it was going to happen, because he knew the heart of men at the time. He knew that they could not accept the new, and that they had a hard time moving forward from the old. And the more you were willing to push them into that new lifestyle, that new way of thinking, the more resistance there was. And he accepted it. He accepted that there was going to be resistance. Now, him sending his son and them killing his son completely disrespectfully just for the sake of their own good. I mean, after hearing that, I would have definitely re-evaluated my life. But I'm not them and they not me. Just saying. Says a lot. But the part that really gets you is where he talks about the owner of the vineyard will go kill the tenants, because obviously they're disrespectful. Oh, and they're real disrespectful. Kill the tenants, and then give the vineyard to others. Now, I'm going to leave you with this one question. After they killed his son, and he went back to make sure that the people who were responsible for these deeds, for misleading others into this fallacy, were taken care of. Who are the others that he gave it to? I'm sure he vetted them well. I'm sure he decided whether or not their hearts were pure. Because going into this, he knew that if you're going to pick up the mantle after what he just experienced, you better be ready. So, where does the authority of the nuanced spiritual teachers come from? I'll let you decide. I gotta get up at 6:30. Gotta walk the dog. He's already cuddled up because he's like, we'll be going up, Shaw. He love outside. So, we're gonna go for a walk, alright? I hope this was fruitful.